A long time ago, in ancient Greece, there was a hero named Hercules. He was the son of Zeus, the king of the gods, and Alcmene, a mortal. From his birth, Hercules was destined for great feats, but his path would not be easy. The enmity between Zeus and Hera, Zeus's wife, led to Hera hating Hercules. The goddess swore to make her life miserable, and one of the ways she tried was to cast a madness on him. Under the influence of this madness, Hercules committed a terrible act. He killed his wife and children. When he regained his sanity, he was devastated by guilt and sadness. The oracle at Delphi, a sacred place where predictions were made, advised Hercules to seek redemption through the performance of 12 nearly impossible tasks, known as the 12 Trials of Hercules. Hercules accepted the challenge and set out on his quest for redemption and honor. First trial, the Nemean lion. Hercules' first task was to confront the ferocious Nemean lion, a beast invulnerable to conventional weapons. Hercules fought the lion using his supernatural strength and strangled it with his bare hands. Second trial, the Hydra of Lerna. The second test took him to the Lerna swamp, where the Hydra, a multi-headed snake, was found. In this battle, Hercules had the help of his nephew Iolaus, who cauterized the severed necks to prevent the heads from regenerating. Finally, Hercules defeated the Hydra. Third trial, the boar of Erymanthus. The third task was to capture the Erymanthian boar. After a long chase, Hercules managed to catch the boar alive and brought it back as proof of his success. Fourth test, the bull of Crete. For the fourth task, Hercules traveled to Crete to capture the fearsome Cretan bull. Using his strength and skill, he managed to subdue the bull and take it back to Mycenae. Fifth test, the Stymphalian birds. The fifth task saw him face a swarm of monstrous birds on Lake Stymphalus. Hercules used his bow and arrows to shoot them down and put an end to the threat. Sixth test, the Queen of the Amazons. In the sixth test, Hercules was sent to capture the belt of the Queen of the Amazons, Hippolyta. After a conversation with the Queen, she agreed to give him the belt as a gesture of goodwill. Seventh test, the Bull of Geryon. The seventh task was to capture the Geryon bull, a beast with 3 bodies and 6 legs. Hercules defeated the monster and brought it back to Mycenae. Eighth test, the Mares of Diomedes. The eighth task took him to Thrace, where he was to capture Diomedes' wild mares, which fed on human flesh. Hercules subdued them and took them back to Eurystheus. Ninth trial, Hippolyta's belt. The ninth task ordered him to retrieve the belt of Hippolyta, the queen of the Amazons, again. However, this time, the mission became complicated due to misunderstandings and conflicts, and the queen died in the fray. Hercules took the belt and returned with regret. 10th trial, Geryon's cattle. The 10th task led him to confront Geryon, a 3-bodied giant, to steal his cattle. After a fierce fight, Hercules defeated Geryon and took the cattle. 11th test, the apples of the Hesperides. The 11th test consisted of stealing the golden apples from the garden of the Hesperides, a place where nymphs lived. Hercules faced various challenges to finally take the apples and complete the task. 12th trial, Cerberus and the underworld. The last task required Hercules to descend into the underworld and capture Cerberus, the guardian of the underworld. Hercules accomplished this task using his intelligence and strength, managing to bring Cerberus to King Eurystheus. After completing the 12 trials, Hercules finally gained redemption and honor from him, as well as forgiveness from the gods. He became a legendary hero and had many more adventures throughout his life. After completing the 12 trials, Hercules became a legendary figure throughout Greece. People admired him for his courage and supernatural strength. But his destiny still had challenges in store for him beyond his imagination, including a confrontation with the evil of a god. One day, while resting in a city after his exploits, Hercules began to hear disturbing rumors. Ares, the powerful Greek god of war and violence, was said to be ruthlessly wreaking havoc on the land. Envy and jealousy had led Ares to take a particular interest in Hercules, the mortal hero who had earned the admiration of gods and mortals alike. Ares decided to test the warrior and prove that no mortal could match him in battle. Hercules, always willing to face challenges, decided to accept the confrontation with the god of war. He prepared for the confrontation, sharpening his famous mace and making sure his armor was spotless. He knew that fighting a god would be a challenge like no other, but he was willing to give it his best. The conflict between Hercules and Ares broke out on a legendary battlefield. Ares appeared in all his divine magnificence, surrounded by lightning and flame, his armor flashing like fire itself. Hercules, gifted with exceptional strength, stood firm, his gaze determined, ready for the confrontation that would decide the fate of the land. The fight between these two titans was epic. Ares's lightning clashed with Hercules' unwavering resistance, while his weapons clashed with a thunderous roar. For hours, the earth shook under the ferocity of their confrontation. The sky darkened and the elements themselves seemed to obey the two contenders. Hercules fought bravely, taking advantage of his experience in the 12 trials. He knew that Ares was a formidable opponent, but he also knew that he could not be defeated with brute force alone. Hercules used his ingenuity and tactical skills to look for a weakness in Ares. He took advantage of a moment of the god's distraction and managed to trap him in a magical net that weakened him considerably. Defeated and humiliated, Ares asked Hercules for mercy. Instead of taking revenge, Hercules decided to show compassion, surprising everyone present. He recognized that the fight was not only against Ares, but also against his own anger and his dark past. Generously, he freed Ares from the magical net and extended a friendly hand to him. Ares, the god of war, felt the nobility of Hercules and recognized his error. He vowed to cause no more chaos on earth and promised that he would never again stand in the way of the brave mortal hero. This reconciliation between a mortal and a god demonstrated that compassion and kindness could prevail even in the face of a god's evil. The confrontation with Ares marked a turning point in the life of Hercules. He not only demonstrated his bravery and skills in battle, but also his capacity for compassion and redemption. The story of Hercules became an even greater legend, and his name was mentioned with respect and admiration throughout the Greek world. Hercules continued to live notable adventures, helping those in need, facing monsters, and doing good in the name of humanity. His legacy as a brave and noble hero endures through the centuries, reminding us that even in the face of the evil of the gods, courage and goodness can prevail. The story of Hercules and his confrontation with Ares became a symbol of hope and redemption for all time.